All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make some indicator using red cabbage. So the first thing you wanna do is you wanna grab your cabbage out of the freezer. Okay, you don't need to thaw it or anything, you'll just start with it straight out of the freezer. It is pre-chopped and ready to go. Then you want a pot, smallest pot you can find probably. You're gonna put the cabbage pieces in the pot. There you go. Then you're gonna add the water. So about 1.5 cups should be good. Give it a little shake. And then you want to bring this to a boil on the stove. Use normal considerations when using a stove, right? It will be hot. So you want to bring it to a boil and then cover it, turn it off, and let it sit and cool for 30 minutes. All right, so once you've got it boiling, you want to go ahead and make sure you turn it all the way off. And then you're going to cover it and let it sit and apologize to your family members because it may smell a little funky. All right, so after your cabbage has been sitting in the pot for 30 minutes, you're gonna set up a filter. So just a coffee filter in some sort of container. So I'm using like a disposable to-go container. So you're gonna go ahead and filter it into there. It's gonna smell kind of bad, sorry. All right, but you wanna get all the liquid in there. May help to kind of gently lift the filter periodically to make sure it's flowing through. All right, go back, pour more. Ah, goodness. Maybe hold a hand there if it's not too hot. Great. All right. Dispose of the rest of the stuff carefully. All right, again, gently lift up the filter. Let everything drain through. May take a little while. And then you have your indicator. All right, so next I'm going to do a rough demo of how to test if your pH indicator solution is working. You should be following the specific steps in your notebook using your well plate and the solutions provided to you. This is just a rough demo, again, that I'm going to be showing you here. We're going to do a little bit of testing. So I'm going to put a little bit in this middle. This is going to be our control. All right, just going to add a little water. Maybe a couple of tablespoons worth of water. All right, so we got a nice purple color. All right, this is the water. Water's pretty neutral. And then I'm gonna create 2 solutions. So one with baking soda and one with vinegar. All right, so we're just basically gonna test the activity. So the baking soda, I'm gonna start off with half a teaspoon in here. Again, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of water. Make sure it gets mixed. The other one, we'll do half a teaspoon of white vinegar. This is just plain vinegar, a little acidic. Again, a couple tablespoons of water. Okay. And then into each of these, I'm gonna add about a tablespoon, maybe a little less than a tablespoon of indicator. Ooh, fun. All right, let's see if I can try and add about the same amount. Ah, immediately effective. Excellent. All right, so here we have our results, right? So this was the vinegar here. This one here is the water, plain water, and this one here is the baking soda. So just a little bit of acid and a little bit of base, and you see a pretty dramatic color change. You will do a similar test, but in your well plate with specific amounts from your flowchart. You're first going to test with your pH strips that have been provided to you, and then you will add the cabbage juice indicator and test that way. Make sure you record and photograph your results. Cool. All right, so make sure you clean up, don't leave a mess. So at this point, you want to separate the remaining indicator cabbage juice into your 2 bottles that were provided in your kit. Make sure you leave some space at the top for freezing, and make sure you label the bottles and then store them in the freezer.